Without our traditions, our lives would be as shaky as a fiddler on the roof.
In 1964, a new show opened on Broadway that would make musical theater history. Led by the visionary Jerome Robbins, Fiddler on the Roof told the story of Anatevka, a small Jewish community within Imperial Russia. Since then, the show has played all over the world, and its universal themes continue to connect with audiences from all backgrounds across history.
Fiddler is timeless. Fiddler is embedded in all our hearts, in its fathers and daughters, its husbands and wives. It's a community under attack. It's trying to figure out how we can hold on to traditions that are dear to us, but then having to question, do they still serve us?
I think that what's special about Fiddler on the Roof is how it articulates the conflict between tradition and change. And that's what makes the themes universal, because there are so many worlds, so many cultures, so many conversations that you could take it down to what we do, what we know, and what is new and what needs to change. And the balance and struggle and experience of the show is how Tevye and his community realize they must change. I think what that thing is that you don't have to lose who you are. You don't have to give up everything in order to move forward.
You know, the score by Bach and Harnick is just breathtaking. Matchmaker, If I Were a Rich Man, To Life, just one glorious song after another. And it's not just that they're great songs. The challenge of writing a musical, which is why most musicals fail, it's not about writing good music. Anyone can write good music. It's about the right song and the right music and lyric for the moment that your characters are at and your audience is ready for. Nobody thought it was going to be a hit. And it just kept running and running and running. You know, it is bigger than all of us.
They took a collection of stories and shaped it into a musical that really centers on this family and this village. It doesn't feel old. Like it could have been written today as it was 60 years ago. One more thing we're excited about is the connection to the world that you only get on the Muny stage. Like to think If I Were a Rich Man, or When Tevye Talks to God, and to look up and see the stars and to feel the connection to the physical world is something you don't get all the time.
You know, it asks such profound questions in the most beautiful, human, funny way. You know, that is why we're now doing our 11th production. With everything that's going on right now, there it is in this story. There it is. You know, this is human history. This happens, and here are the consequences. Here's what it does to families. Here's what it does to communities. They never lose their faith. And they bring the fiddler.
When I use the word family, I don't just mean Tevye and his daughters and his wife. I mean the family of people in this community. And when you think of the Muny, and you think of St. Louis as a community, and you think of the Muny audience as a community, it's a really beautiful connection there.